If you're hearing gunshots fired, one person advising there's a subject inside shooting.
A gunman opened fire, killing 12 people before turning the gun on himself in Thousand Oaks, California.
410-3, we got multiple people down. We need a lot of ambulance fires.
Sheriff's investigators have identified the gunman as Ian David Long. They say he was a former Marine and known to law enforcement.
In April of this year, deputies were called to his house for a subject disturbing. They called out our crisis intervention team, our mental health specialist, who met with him, talked to him, and cleared him.
The horror began around 11:20 p.m. when the gunman entered the Borderline Bar and Grill. The country bar was hosting a college night, and it was packed with students.
So then our friends got the bar stools and they started slamming it against the window so we could get out. That's how we were able to get out. They broke the window.
At least a dozen people were killed, including Sheriff's Deputy Ron Helis, who was one of the first to respond.
Gave his all. As I told his wife, he died a hero because he went in to save lives, to save other people.
Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg fractured 3 ribs after a fall Wednesday evening. Thursday morning, she was admitted to George Washington University Hospital for observation. Ginsburg was in her office at the court when she fell. The 85-year-old has been a justice on the High Court since 1993. The White House confirmed suspending the press pass of CNN correspondent Jim Acosta after he refused to release a microphone during a post-midterms press conference on November 7th. About Acosta's suspension, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said, "President Trump believes in a free press and expects and welcomes tough questions of him and his administration." But she said the White House would not tolerate disrespectful conduct from members of the press. She said that Acosta's placing his hands on a young woman just trying to do her job as a White House intern was absolutely unacceptable conduct, and that Acosta's refusal to release the microphone to other members of the press was disrespectful, as his colleagues would have less time to ask the president their own questions. Federal prosecutors said charges have been filed against the captain of a tourist boat that sank and killed 17 people in a southwest Missouri lake over the summer. A federal indictment shows 51-year-old Kenneth Scott McKee is facing 17 counts of misconduct, negligence, or inattention to duty by a ship's officer resulting in death. The July accident occurred when an amphibious vessel known as a duck boat sank when a sudden and severe storm rolled into the area. A collection of draft scripts for The Wizard of Oz and other material from the archives of the 1939 film are going up for auction in December and could fetch up to $1.2 million. Los Angeles auctioneers Profiles in History said 4 handwritten draft screenplays by Noel Langley were being sold. Langley was one of about a dozen screenwriters who worked on the big screen adaptation of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz children's book. It became an enduring movie classic and catapulted Judy Garland to fame. Some 16 photos of special effects, including the tornado sequence that transports Dorothy from Kansas to Oz, will be included in the single lot.